All right. Well, good morning. I'm Penny Chamberlain, the director here at the Central Vermont Career Center, and we welcome you all to a discussion with Senator Sanders and local employers. We plan to talk about what you need to be successful after high school graduation and beyond. Senator Sanders will be joined today by a few area businesses to discuss opportunities for well-paying careers after high school and the pathways to get you there. Results of today's discussion will help inform the Senator's work in Washington. Senator Sanders last visited here at Central Vermont Career Center back in February, where he hosted a discussion on apprenticeships with German Ambassador Peter Wittig. There are many options for students after he or she receives their diploma. They can go directly into the workforce, job training, or onto post-secondary training. For members of the press who are here today, I ask that you not take pictures of the students' faces, only the backs of their heads for privacy reasons. Thank you. And without further ado, please join me in welcoming Senator Bernie Sanders.
Penny, thank you very much. Let me thank everybody for being here today. What I want to accomplish today, and I hope you will join with me in doing that, is answering a simple question. There are hundreds, actually thousands, of decent paying jobs available in the state of Vermont today. And yet there are many young people who don't know what jobs are available. They don't know how to get those jobs. They don't know how to get the training necessary to do those jobs. So the point is that there are a lot of people who want to go to college, and that's great. And there are groups here today, VSAC and others, who will help you figure out how you can get the financial aid that you need, maybe help you determine what college works for you in state or out of state. But the truth is there are thousands of good paying jobs available for people who, for whatever reason, choose not to go to college. But they may need some technical training and some higher education. And these employers here, as well as many other employers who are not here, are prepared to help you get that training. Maybe you want to be an electrician, maybe you want to be a plumber, maybe you want to be a carpenter, an automobile mechanic, you know what? A welder, an operator of heavy machinery. Those jobs pay well. How do you get those jobs? How do you get the training to do those jobs? Which employer will provide the best pay, the best benefits? So what I need for you to be thinking about is I'm going to ask you questions in a few minutes. What do you know? And how can we make it easier for you to find those jobs and those careers? So let me, without further ado, introduce our panelists today who represents three very, very fine companies. We have Benoit Electric here, we have GW Plastics, and we have Chroma Technology. And I'm going to start off by introducing Pam and John Benoit from Benoit Electric. And Benoit Electric is based right here in Barrie. It specializes in commercial and industrial electric work in Vermont and New Hampshire. And from what I understand, Benoit has a strong relationship with Vermont's apprenticeship programs. Pam and John, do you want to begin?
Thank you, Senator. My name is John Benoit, and my wife Pam and I own Benoit Electric. We employ right around 100 people. We do commercial and industrial electrical work in Vermont and New Hampshire. We specialize more in hospitals. We do a lot of hospital work. As far as the apprenticeship goes, we'll start a apprentice out with no experience in the $11 to $12 an hour range. And then after 4 years of going through the apprenticeship and on-the-job training, you'll be around the $19, $20 an hour range. And then, that's after that you pass a test for a journeyman's electrician's license. Our benefits include health insurance, disability insurance, paid holidays, paid vacations, 401k retirement, and a gym membership. The state of Vermont offers an electrical apprenticeship course. It's a 4-year course. You go 2 nights a week from about September to March. And these classes are paid for by Benoit Electric, but the books, the student pays for the books, but if they pass the class, we reimburse them. During that 4 years that you go to apprenticeship class 2 nights a week, you're also working in the field. So you have to work 8,000 hours, which is 4 years of work. So once you've done your 8,000 hours, you've done your 4 years of school, and you pass the journeyman's test, then you're a licensed electrician. So, you know, it's not, we would like to train you and then have you leave, but if you did get your journeyman's license, I mean, you can get a job anywhere in the country. You know, people in the Northeast are really recognized as very hard workers, very skilled, and they're really highly sought after.
John, could I jump in and ask you a question? What does it mean if I'm a licensed electrician? How much do I make? What are my opportunities?
A licensed electrician will be right around the $19, $20 an hour range when you first get licensed, because there's still a lot to learn. You know,
And after 10 years, what might I be learning? Earning? What might I be earning after 10 years?
You'll be in mid to upper 20s. So
25, 30.
25 to $30 an hour, you know, yes. Okay. And so then I think a lot of the younger people here may have a little bit of an advantage because you're quite technical. And things are really changing at a rapid pace right now as far as technology. In the last 5 years, lighting control is all Cat 5 based, programmable lighting control, there's nurse call, sound masking, there's fire alarm systems. There's just a lot of really neat technology that's changing, and it's changing every day, it seems. So I got a couple pictures here I want to run through of some of our jobs that we do and some of the apprentices that work. So there you go, right there. All right, so this right here is a 4th-year apprentice working with a master electrician on some 15,000 volt cables. And this is another 4th-year apprentice that's working on the medical center hospital. We're doing a big bed tower project in Burlington, and that's a 4th-year apprentice doing some nurse call cabling. And this is a 2nd-year apprentice doing some rough-in and some metal stud framing in the single patient rooms over at the UVM Medical Center Hospital. This is another 1st-year apprentice doing some pipe bending on that project. And this is another 2nd-year apprentice that's piping a big panel feeder. So there's just a lot to the electrical trade, whether you're doing big pipe, little pipe, working inside, doing nurse call, fire alarm, fiber optic, Cat 5. I mean, there's a lot of really neat stuff in the electrical trade. I'm not here to discourage anybody from going to college. If that's what your choice is, then absolutely. But there are other options, whether it be the trades or the military. But no matter what you do, you got to take it serious. I mean, once you're out of high school, you really need to start taking things serious. College is very expensive, and I have a lot of people that come apply for jobs with us that go to college 2 or 3 years and drop out, and they waste a lot of money. And they really didn't go to college for all the right reasons. But you definitely, if you're going, you got to take it serious. But no matter what you do, if you follow these rules, you'll be successful. You got to show up on time every day. You got to work hard. You got to have a good attitude and be proud of what you do. And if you do that, you'll be successful. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Kathy Tempesta is with GW Plastics, an advanced injection molding company based in Bethel, and provides companies around the world with high-quality products. And I hear Vermont students often visit their facilities to get a sense of advanced manufacturing. Kathy?
Hi, I'm Kathy Tempesta. I know RTCC is here, and I've met quite a few students at that school already, but I wanted to start my presentation about GW Plastics with a little brief video because I think that there's no one better to tell the story of GW Plastics than the actual employees who work there. So, if you wouldn't mind. I work in human resources.
There's a good feeling about what you do here.
There's plenty of opportunity to grow.
GW is definitely a company on the
I
move.
feel like I hit the ground running when I came in.
Every door is open to me.
Company puts the people first.
We get a lot of support from the company.
I learned my job on the job.
Benefits are fantastic.
I just got my 3rd promotion and
I'm building a career here.
I would have a shot at a leadership position someday.
Be Silicone's manager.
It's an incredibly rewarding place to work.
It's an amazing group of people to work for and to work with.
With growth comes opportunity, and GW has been growing. Having strong wages and benefits allows us to attract and retain the best and the most highly skilled workforce that we possibly can get. And it really does result in a tremendous amount of career opportunities for our associates.
Everyone thinks that after you invent something, that's the end. But no, if you want to make millions of parts, there's a lot of work beyond that. So that's where GW comes in. We'll design the tool, we'll design the automation, we'll set up the entire manufacturing facility around making that part. The work that we do is cutting edge. The problems we're trying to solve have never been solved before. That really excites me as an engineer.
I wasn't looking for a job. I was looking for a career, actually. I have a master's degree in chemistry, but sometimes life puts you on a different path. And now I work in quality control in GW. I have to say I love it.
I'm a mold maker by trade. I have no college degree, but was very, very good with my hands. And when I came here, I started in the tool division, was noticed for my skills rather quickly, moved into our EDM department, which is one of the tougher departments to work in. Within a year, I was managing that department.
It's a fast-moving company, and it is very easy to grow within the company. I worked my way up pretty easily. Right now, I am managing about 15 quality technicians across 4 shifts.
I've been with GW almost a year now. I knew next to nothing about the plastics industry when I started. Nothing about molding machines or the pick-and-place robots that we use to remove parts. Knew nothing about it. My direct boss is a great mentor to me. And I was questioning him, right? I was like, so what have you done? And he looked at me and he said, you'd be hard-pressed to find something that I couldn't do around here. I've been learning something new ever since.
If you're interested in a career in advanced manufacturing, this is the place to learn it. I'd like to be a master molder within my first year, and I think I'm on track for that right now.
I love what I do. I love that it's something different every day, and I get to interact with basically every person that works at GW. I go some days from writing very technical blog posts or social media posts versus other days I'm running photo shoots and video shoots just like this one.
Being with the company for 7 months, I've had a lot of additional responsibilities entrusted in me. I do inventory and control management. I handle all of the shipping, all of the purchasing and receiving. I enjoy running the floor. If you want to be able to be challenged, if you want to continue to grow, this is the place for you to do it.
All right. The fact that GW Plastics is a global company is inspiring to me. It's cool to think about people all around the world working for the company that I work for.
What we do here is extremely important. Knowing that something that we make here, it could help save my life, my child's life. That makes me happy to come here, knowing that what we do could save someone.
It's a well-run company. It's a profitable company. It's a growing company. There's a need for people. There's a need for people with energy. There's a need for people that energy and want to do things. Come here and help us.
My plant manager actually told me when I started, he said, we're looking for people like you that haven't been stuck in their ways for 10, 15 years. He said, we want the fresh ideas and the new insight. People coming in are more apt to see stuff that we've become blind to.
We're located in different areas of the country that are very attractive. Tucson, Arizona, San Antonio, Texas, Vermont, so much beauty. If you're the right person and you want that well-rounded lifestyle, we can offer it.
And the benefits are fantastic. I couldn't ask for a better company that's solid, stable, and offers a great benefit package for me and my family.
Health, dental.
A really good tuition reimbursement program.
Great 401k program.
They will match you. We're here to help.
Pow.
The pay is really good.
Short-term disability, long-term disability.
Bonus every year.
The time off that I need when I need
I have
it.
4 weeks off a year now.
That could go to China or Mexico.
There's opportunity for everyone.
I just see this company getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
I see myself staying here.
If you want to build something,
A career.
the life you want,
There's a place for you here.
At GW Plastics.
We're a company for the future.
A company for your future.
Where people matter.
Join us.
And grow.
Grow with us.
grow with us.
Go with us.
With us.
Grow with us.
If you're looking for a job where you can build a great career and a great life, join the GW team today.
Those are real-life GW employees, and there are some people in that video who started entry-level without, right from high school and started into a job. And I think the key is, what you want to do is get your foot in the door with an organization, and then you work hard. Our entry-level positions average around $14.80 an hour to start, but that's a starting point. You're going to find that as you work, you may become interested in some certain aspect of the job. We have a lot of opportunities for our employees in training and education. We have an apprenticeship program. I didn't talk a lot about what GW does, but we are a contract manufacturer. We make medical devices for some of the biggest medical companies in the world. Each one of those surgical tools that the surgeons use in their operating rooms, they're manufactured by us. We have employees who actually learn how to make those molds, to build those, to injection mold those plastic parts. Our toolmaker apprentices, they start about the same point, around $14.50, but they go through a 1.5, 2-year training program. At the end of that training program, they're about $20 an hour. And our experienced toolmakers who have worked for the company, I'd say 10 or 15 years, you are bumping up into the high 20s, low 30s an hour. You can raise a family, buy a home, live in Vermont comfortably with that type of income, and you're constantly learning. It's constantly changing. I know John and Pam mentioned the automation. You saw some in that video. Manufacturing is changing. There's more and more automations, robots, fascinating stuff that you guys can work on, and you might be part of changing and developing something tomorrow that we don't even see today. So there's a lot of opportunity. One other thing I want to mention is the benefits. Everybody thinks about pay rate, and that's the be-all and end-all, but there's tons more with a job. Benefits are very important. One of the things that we have is a very, very attractive 401k program. You're going to someday look in that rearview mirror and you're going to see most of your career behind you instead of in front of you. You want a good 401k program? We match. If you contribute 5% of your salary to a 401k, GW gives you 6.5% free money. Over time, that builds, and you are eventually in a position to be able to retire quite comfortably with something like that. So think about it.
Angela Earl Gray is from Chroma Technologies, an employee-owned company based in Bellows Falls that designs optical filters. I understand Chroma makes precision filters for some of the largest microscope manufacturers, as well as customized small projects for scientists and engineers. Angela?
So they didn't tell me I had to follow a movie. I need to just get it switched out to my PowerPoint real quick. As I'm doing it, just when you hear we're a manufacturer of optical filters, that probably doesn't mean a lot, right? So how the heck do they get manufactured? It's taking glass substrate, making sure it's critically clean, putting it into big, huge vacuum chambers where different layers of chemicals are put onto it, so that certain wavelengths of light pass through and others don't. So there are some things that we do that are very hands-on. You're assembling little things, you're visually inspecting, doing a lot of manual work. There are some things that are really technical. We're about 130 people right now. We are just this week moving into an addition, which is going to double our facility size, so we're going to have a lot of growth. Generally, when we're growing, it's because we have new positions. We have really long tenures. If somebody starts working for us, they keep working for us. So as we're adding new people, we're generally looking for entry-level roles, and we're looking for a lot of engineers. And one of the things that's interesting is if you work for us for long enough, we do have people who don't have engineering degrees who are doing the work of engineers. That they've been able to learn in our facility the basics of optical design and moved on to doing design engineering without an engineering degree, which is kind of a big deal. So, let's see if I can get forward. Pictures of the facility and our employees. Qualities we're looking for. When we're hiring for entry-level positions, a lot of the qualities we're looking for are just good basic work skills. It can be really hard to find people who are responsible, take accountability for their own work, come in every day, on time, good attitude. Just that is going to put you ahead of an average job seeker. Attention to detail, the ability to multitask, able to work independently, willing to learn, able to communicate effectively, able to collaborate. Lean manufacturing, Six Sigma, ways of thinking about how to increase efficiency in manufacturing. If you have opportunities to learn those are skills that manufacturing companies are looking for. If you don't have it, we're going to give it to you, but it's great if you walk in the door knowing it. Being able to use measuring equipment, micrometers, calipers, spectrophotometers, all desirable. And then for us, as Senator Sanders said, we're an employee-owned company, and we're really looking for people who have an ownership mentality. We don't want people to come get jobs at Chroma. We want them to come be a part of ownership at Chroma and think in that way and stay with us for a long time. We do offer internships. Let's see if I can get forward though. Never mind. Help. In the meantime, we offer internships, and we have hired our interns on full-time, and they've continued to grow with us. We pay between $15 and $17 an hour for our internships. We have people work full-time for 12 weeks. Because we're in Bellows Falls, a lot of times people will need to come out for the summer and do it based on location. Once you're on board, again, we have an expectation that people are going to keep learning the whole time they're with us. We set goals once a year, and the goals always include what is your training that you've done and what's the training you're going to do. ISO is another thing that we look for people to have training in or provide it. Parts handling, how to work with our parts. Production process, our corporate culture. In terms of benefits, so again, ownership is a big piece of it. Anyone who's been with Chroma for more than a year has stock in Chroma. It means that if something was going to happen and our company was going to get sold, we would have to have a shareholder vote. We have a lot of job security for that reason, which is actually a benefit that you can't underestimate in our current economy. We also provide health insurance, dental insurance, vision, paid vacation, sick time, personal time, holidays, parental leave, bereavement, disability, and again, do generous contributions to 401ks, and we also do cash profit sharing. That cash profit sharing is the same for every employee, no matter what their role in the company is or what their salary is. It's averaged about $10,000 per year for the last 5 years. In terms of salaries, our starting wage is $18 an hour, and again, we want you to learn and grow when you're in that position. You are going to, the whole time you're with us. We say people come in as operators. They come in being told, put this there, push this button, and something will happen. As you stay with us, you start to learn the details of what's happening and why, and you start being able to tweak the process and do troubleshooting along the way. And at the same time, your salaries are going to keep growing. So our entry-level salaries actually end up maxing out around $36 an hour. We have very compressed salary rates, so our highest salary is $145,000 per year. But anyone at our company, no matter what their job is, from your years of service and years of learning, can get up to $76,000 per year. And in closing, I'll just mention that we are, along with being employee-owned, a B Corp, and that just says that we have taken a survey on how we treat the environment and our employees and how we work together, and it's been found to be something that's socially conscious on a lot of different levels, and it's a good thing to look at when you're looking in terms of employers for employers that are investing in those things, although there are many employers that invest in them that are B Corps as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now you've heard from, let me just thank John and Pam Benoit and Kathy Tempesta and Angela Earl Gray for their presentations. Now I need to hear from you, and it's really important that I do hear from you. So let me just start off with a very simple question. What do you think? You heard from 3 interesting companies. Were you aware that these types of jobs, and these certainly are not the only companies in the state of Vermont that have jobs available. Were you guys aware that these types of jobs and benefits are available in the state of Vermont? Raise your hand and tell me. Please raise your hand. Yeah, stand up. Just tell us who you are.
I'm Carter. Oh, sorry. Sweet.
Not a major speech, though, but all right.
Well, I'm Carter, if you guys can hear me.
Where's the DMA sitting?
Benoit Electric. I know all 3 of these companies, actually. Benoit Electric was probably, or is, one of the best companies I worked for. I have fun every day, show up on time, good work ethics, and, get along.
How did you learn about the possibility of working at Benoit?
Wayne Tawsey, I don't know where he is, right over there.
Okay.
There's a co-op program that we do here. I can't really explain it. You apply for it and you get an opportunity to work for an employer around the area or far away, either way. So I got the opportunity to work for Benoit Electric, and ever since then I just thanked him.
And you enjoy the work?
I enjoy the work.
And you're learning every day on the job?
Oh, learning every day.
All right, so is there something different about doing, it's one thing to be sitting in a school and learning, it's another thing to be working with your hands on the job. Do you enjoy being out there working with your hands?
Oh, it's a great time. I mean, I feel like I learn a lot quicker with my hands than I do like just sitting down and getting talked to or lectured about something.
Okay, great. Good, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, other thoughts? By the way, what he just said, that's true for a zillion people. Sometimes everybody learns a little bit differently. And sometimes you walk into a place, you see this stuff, and you want to figure out how it works. That's how somebody learns. Somebody else learns from books. We all learn a little bit differently. All right, other thoughts. What's your impression about what you heard today? Are you surprised that there's these kind of decent jobs available Do your friends know about these jobs? How do we do a better job in telling you what's available and making sure you get the training? All right, who wants to talk about anything they want? Please, we don't have a whole lot of time, so we need your help. Yeah, I got a hand over there. Please.
Good morning. My name is John Lacey. I work at Randolph Technical Career Center. I'm just new to the state. I moved from Massachusetts last year. I was a visitor for a long time. This is amazing that this opportunities exist. But my question is, do you think climate change is going to impact the ski industry? And then, therefore, this would be the future of Vermont?
Well, I don't want to, climate change is a real serious problem which will impact Vermont and the whole country and the whole world. But we can talk about that later. I want to stay on these issues right now. Question again, guys, do you know about the good jobs available and how you can get the training to really make a pretty good living? Or anything else that's on your minds? Who wants to raise your hand and talk? Yep, got a hand back there.
Hey, how you doing? Stephen K. Chocolate Tech, lifetime Barrie resident. I think the problem is, like with Chroma, I've never known you existed. So almost getting a lot of times people only see where they are locally for jobs, so I think getting a little bit more extensive for the state or everywhere around.
Very good point. So your feeling is people might know what exists in the area, but not know what exists 50 miles away from here.
Right.
All right, is that a fair point? Okay. So I think as a state, we need to do a better job in that regard. I think that's an excellent point. All right, how do you guys, somebody explain to me, if you're going to graduate high school and you're looking for a job, okay, we got a hand right here, okay.
I hear about GW plastics all the time on the radio and everything, but I never know what they do. I've never heard anything about what they do.
Okay. The question is, in case you didn't hear it, he hears about GW Plastics on the radio, but he doesn't know what they do. All right, GW?
Well, no, I'm just saying something in general. I hear about things all the time, but I don't know what.
So you think, before you apply for a job, you'd be interested in knowing what the company does, yeah? Is that your point? Yeah, okay, good. Okay, other questions or thoughts? All right, I got a hand way in the back.
I just went to a job fair with a student here from Spalding, and I was shocked on how many opportunities and jobs that I never heard of, and I've been here for 35 years. But the school wasn't invited.
You take the mic right there.
The school was not invited to this job fair that was held here a couple weeks ago at the Barrie Auditorium. And I thought, what a great opportunity for all our seniors or juniors to learn about this kind of stuff. And it was right here.
Well, that's exactly what we are trying to improve and do better coordination. Once again, the goal is for you to be made available of the options, the employment options that are out there. And I'm not sure that at this point we are doing a good enough job. You choose what you want to do, but you can't make the best choice unless you know what is available and how you get the training. Everybody here talked about a changing technology. And you're going to have the training to be able to deal with that technology. And all of these three companies, among many others, will help you provide that training. Yes?
I'm not sure what's on. Okay. So to speak to that about the job fair, though, in Windham County, they do have students come to the job fair that gets held. And every year, they get mixed feedback from the employers because not all of the students treat it seriously and take it as an opportunity to go out and network with the employers. So it goes in both directions. That the more you do to express real interest and to engage with employers when you have opportunities to do it, the more employers are going to be willing to take the time to be available for you to do that.
Okay, all right.
Senator?
Yes.
One more. Piggybacking on the comment of knowing what companies are out there, not necessarily what they do, I think sometimes we don't know what these job titles are. For instance, I went to high school here in Vermont and I excelled in math and everybody told me I should be an engineer. I went to college, I had no idea what an engineer actually was, so never enrolled in any engineering programs. It wasn't until after college I realized I might have really made a really good engineer, but nobody took the time to tell me what that really was.
Fair point. Other thoughts? Yeah. I'd like mostly to hear from students, if I could.
That's actually what I was going to ask. Could you raise your hand if anything that's been presented this morning is of interest to you? Did you find that compelling? Raise your hand. You were shocked and surprised. You thought, wow, I didn't know that. I might want to know more about that. Go ahead, put your hands up. There's lots of money to be earned, right? Not just my teachers raising their hands. Now I'm going to lose staff, I can tell. I'm looking around. Teachers, put your hands back down. It's just for students. So the questions that we're trying to get from you folks, what do you need to know? In order, from what you just heard, in order to go to the next step, what is it you need to know? What can we do for you, and how can we as a school or school system bridge the gap between us and those folks on the stage and any other employers? So it's not any one group's fault we have a gap here. What can we do for you? So that's where I want you to raise your hand. What are you wondering about? What can we do for you? How can we put you into one of those positions where you could max out your earning at $145,000 a year? Senator?
Yes.
This is just kind of a quick point about
where's the speaker? Yeah, okay.
The employer's perspective. I think that it's good to note what was said about employers needing some sort of interest from the students who are coming there, because if you're force feeding or essentially giving us all the opportunity without interest from us, we're not going to really apply ourselves. I'm not saying that there's any issue in trying to give these opportunities, but if you have a student going to a job fair who isn't necessarily interested, I don't see it being beneficial to the student or the prospective employee. So I think that possibly the sense of entitlement to being fed these opportunities might be slightly detrimental to us actually taking on these jobs.
Okay. Other thoughts? Yep, gentleman right here. Right here, raise your stand up, no? Right here, yep. Gentleman who doesn't, yeah, okay.
So obviously we're hearing about a lot of technical opportunities here at Vermont that are available to, us, within a youthful population, but I'm kind of curious more about like the media opportunities and those of us that are looking to get to more like an artistic or less technical field that are really available to us. Obviously, we saw some of that available with, like this plastic company, in terms of social media and advertising and photo shoots and all that, but I really don't feel like there's a lot of opportunity available to us that isn't located in, like New York City or a lot of like very large population points.
Well, I mean, there's truth to that. This is, Barrie, Vermont. It's not Los Angeles and it's not New York City. But there are a lot of advantages of living in Vermont, and people, and there are good jobs here. I mean, ultimately, every human being is going to make that choice about where they want to live. Our job here, and these are only 3 examples, is to give you an idea of what is available in this community. But if somebody wants to talk, the gentleman said, mostly we've been talking about more technical stuff. That's what these companies are. That does not mean to say there aren't other companies in the state that are in need of people who have artistic capabilities. But somebody want to speak to that?
A lot of our assembly jobs actually take a good eye-hand coordination and ability to focus. And we have a lot of people who, because it pays well, because the benefits are good, are able to come and do that 40 hours a week and also pursue some pretty intense artistic things on the side. Like we have somebody we hired in based on the fact that they'd done an apprenticeship at a tattoo parlor. And that was the same type of skills that you would need to do that fine detail work. So it isn't necessarily that you're going to be able to do the artwork 40 hours a week for us, but we could free it up for you to be able to pursue your passions outside of work.
Okay, yep.
So I just want to talk about maybe, seeing out there, we don't really know a lot about these people. We've only heard about them maybe once or twice on the radio. I was just wondering if there's maybe some other way that we can maybe streamline this information to students around here in a more effective manner, like maybe some sort of centralized web page that would list all the job opportunities that would, say, hey, this is what you need to do to be able to get these jobs. I don't know if that exists, but that would be really beneficial to all of these students.
That's an excellent idea. Does that make sense to people?
Big brain, big brain.
Okay, and this is exactly what we are talking about. And again, this is not the end all and be all. These are 3 companies. there are dozens and dozens and dozens of other companies who require different skills. Your point is, how in an easy way?
Maybe just a web page.
Right.
By the Vermont government.
That's right. No, that's exactly right. And that's kind of something that we are working on. Sometimes it takes longer than you would think, but that is exactly. Well, let me ask, you guys agree with me, don't you? Okay. All right, very good point. Other questions or comments? Yep.
I want to add to what Jack said, actually. And I know that last week we went up and visited John and Pam, and they do a great job for all of our schools to come, and it was amazing to see what they had put out for us. And I know that GW does things for students as well, but maybe on that, if there was a list of businesses that were willing to take students in, have students come and visit regularly to see what they do, in not just students in your area or your tech schools in your area, but as far as the whole state.
So you found visiting Benoit and seeing what people do in there was an eye-opener for the students?
Absolutely, absolutely. I've been out of the field for 2 years, and it was amazing the technology that they're using just in that 2 years.
Okay, and kids enjoyed seeing that? Right?
Oh yes, very much.
Good. I think that's another great point. How many of you guys would enjoy the opportunity to visit companies around the state to see what they do? Fantastic. All right, that's another point. All right? All right, we're making good progress. Thank you. All right, yes.
I think a lot of people here might be interested in doing jobs like this, and they just don't know how to apply. So they just don't take the effort into finding out.
Excellent point again. All right, so let's very briefly, for these three employers, John, how does somebody's interested in learning about Benoit, how do they do that?
They just call our office, schedule an appointment. I sit down, I personally interview everybody. So yeah, if anybody would want to come over, I'm happy to take the time.
All right.
Also explain how they apply for the apprenticeship.
Right, apprenticeship program as well.
Well, once you get hired on with Benoit Electric, you do get enrolled in the apprenticeship, so it's something that kind of automatically kicks in, and Pam takes care of that.
All right, why don't you give a telephone number, John? Make it easy for folks. I don't know if you guys got a pencil or a pen there. What's your number?
It's 802-229-1955.
Okay. Kathy, how does somebody learn about GW Plastics?
The best way is to come in. Just come in and fill out an application and meet us. We like to meet people face to face. It gives us an opportunity to kind of talk to you to see what your interests are. There's a lot of different types of jobs available, and until we get a chance to talk to you and get to know, where your interests are, that's what helps us.
Is there a phone number that they can make an appointment to come on in?
234-9941.
All right, you're located where?
Bethel, Vermont.
Okay.
So it's about a half an hour down the highway.
Okay. Angela, how do people learn about Chroma?
Sure. Chroma's website has a place to do an online application, or again, you can just reach out directly. We do allow students to come in, and we'll take you on tours, show you more about the facility. If you wanted to reach out, 802-428-2530.
All three of these companies have websites. Okay, other thoughts? Yep, do I have my hand?
There's one on the way back.
Okay. All right, all the points you've made are excellent points, without exception, about some of the things we've got to do. All right, questions, comments? All right, let me ask you this. I want to get back, because I think Penny raised this issue. Were you surprised at the quality of jobs that are available? All right, I mean, and there, a job is more than just money. Money is very, very important, but it sounds to me like each of these jobs are pretty interesting jobs. Give me some examples if you're not interested. Okay, I got some hint. Are you just stretching, or is that a brilliant comment that you want to make? Okay. What are What are some of the experiences that maybe your older brothers or sisters or your friends have had going out into the job market? Anyone want to talk about that? Or friends, or whatever.
Senator?
Yeah.
So my brother worked at GW a couple of years ago, but he has learning disabilities, and he didn't really get the help he needed when he was working there.
Okay.
So I don't really know if that's because they had a hard time training him or what, but he ended up quitting because he just couldn't do it.
Okay, good point. Other thoughts? Let me ask the companies here. Now, it's a two-way street. And one of the things that we have heard is that, and you heard it mentioned almost by all of the employers here, is about attitude and work ethic among young people. About as simple a concept as making sure you come to work on time. But maybe some of you guys want to talk about some of the problems that you have run into. John or Pam, did you want to say a word about that? Or?
Well, that is a big problem, and it's not just for young people, it's for some older people also, but you really got to show up on time every day and show up every day and just have a good attitude. A lot of people just dig themselves in a hole and they just jump from job to job and they just don't seem to ever get their career on path. But that is a big problem. You know, all of you are at a stage in your life, you're kind of at a fork in the road right now. You know, you can go and be successful, or you can dig yourself in a hole. And I do see it every day, and it's not just for young people, it's the older people too that really get themselves in some trouble, whether they get a DWI and then they lose their license, and then they get caught driving without a license, and it's just one thing after another, and you can see that downward spiral. And you know, you're at a stage in your life where you got to make a decision, and you just got to go on the right path.
Angela, Kathy, you want to talk about that?
Dependability is something that's huge. I know that going from high school to your first job is a big, big step. There's a lot of different rules. You have to come to work when you're scheduled to come to work and be on time and work for the shift that you're scheduled for. Because every time somebody calls out or they come in late, you're not only impacting yourself, but you're impacting the rest of the people on the team. So that's a hugely important piece of work. You've got to be dependable, you've got to come to work when you're scheduled to work. If you can do that and you work hard, the rest is gravy, it comes, but you got to do that first.
Just one quick add-on, be focused on work at work. And again, it's not just young people. There's a lot of young people who are great at all of it, but there's definitely a lot of people who cell phones and technology and being on them when they're supposed to be focused on work is a big reason that managers and work group members get a little frustrated with each other. It looks like you don't care. It looks like you're not there when you do the job.
Yep.
So you talked about digging yourself into a hole, but as an employer, how would you help the employee get out of that hole and be able to do the job that you want them to do?
We definitely sit down and talk. We definitely sit down and we talk to the employee and try to find out, you know, what the issues are and try to work with them. But, you know, it's a tough one. You know, some people, just as much as you talk to them and try to help them, sometimes they just don't want the help. But, you know, we are there to help them in any way we can.
Yep.
So there was a lot of talk about technology, and with the way technology is going, it seems that technology could take over people's jobs. Do you think with these companies that could happen?
Okay, answer.
No, it's not going to take over the jobs. What it's going to do is it's going to evolve the jobs. That a lot of manufacturing jobs, if you think back historically, people would go, this is really boring, this is really tedious, and all of a sudden it becomes working with this technology, maintaining the technology. There's still going to be roles there, but they definitely will be different.
Anybody else want to deal with changing technology?
You always have to have people that program the automation and that maintain the automation. You're never going to get rid of that.
Okay. Other thoughts, questions? Yep, got a question right here. Get the mic, take the mic.
So we're here at the Central Vermont Career Center, and a lot of students here are career tech students. I'm wondering from the panel, what things can we do in these career and technical centers that can enhance students' learning beyond what they might get at a traditional high school? And
Good.
what are your attitudes towards those students?
Good question. Who wants to answer that?
I can speak a little to Randolph Technical Career Center. I know that they're starting a couple of new programs in manufacturing technology. There's a teacher, a fairly new teacher there named Kevin Mullen, who's starting a very exciting program for their students so that kids who might be interested in manufacturing technology can get more education and more hands-on experience. So I think the technical career centers are evolving and they are recognizing that this is a need in the state, and I think that they're starting to respond.
How many of you guys in the Technical Career Center program get out of school to do on-job training? Raise your hand. How does that work? Is that good? Stand up.
So I work for Huntington Homes. My name's Gavin, and I actually got the job through the co-op program, just like Carter did. And basically what it is it's a class that you apply for like you would a job, you get interviewed, and if you are accepted, you get to go out on job shadows. And I lucked out, and with my first job shadow, I landed a job. And I'm able to bounce around and expand my knowledge of construction, plumbing, and everything in between.
So you're doing that during the school day?
I am doing that during the
school day. Do you get paid for doing that or just property?
Yes, sir. I work 35 hours a week.
So you're getting paid for 35 hours and you're getting credit for school as well?
Yes.
Great. And that works well for you?
Very well.
Great. Okay. Other thought, anybody else in similar type programs? Okay. There's a question over there. Wait, to the right.
Okay, so it's not really a question, but
Hold the mic close to your mouth, please.
I'm in automotive right now,
Good.
and next year I want to go into co-op. So right now, every week, once a week, I go and job shadow one place that I'm very passionate about working at. So last week I went Thursday. This week I'm going tomorrow, and then if I end up getting into co-op, then I'm going to start co-oping early, which for me it helps because they talk me through everything, they tell me what they're doing, how they run things, and it just makes learning way easier.
So you enjoy being on the job and you're learning well on the job. Do you get paid for what you're doing now? But you will. Okay, good. Okay. Other thoughts about people who are now learning outside of the classroom? Yep. Okay, stand up, please. Okay. Other folks who are learning outside of the classroom want to talk about their experiences. Okay. All right. We've been asking you questions. Do you have any questions for me or for the panel? All right. All right. Yeah.
Hello. I know a lot of students in high school are pressured to go to college straight out of high school and to pursue a career path after college. What do you guys do to kind of present the students with the opportunities that they can get straight out of high school that they don't need a college degree for, or they don't need to specialize in certain things to get that certain career?
Well, that's a great question. And essentially, that's why we're here today. Look, ultimately, these choices of what you want to do with your lives, they are your choices. And a lot of young people want to go to college, and that's great. There are a lot of young people who do not, for whatever reason, want to go to college. And one of the areas where we have been weak as a nation and as a state, in my view, is answering that question and making it clear that there are a lot of very, very good jobs out there which do not today require a college education. They will require training, and all of these companies and every other company will provide you with that training. But the truth of the matter is there are a lot of people in the state of Vermont today who are earning good livings doing important work that they enjoy who have not gone to college. So college is great. You want to go to college? That's great. If you don't want to go to college, there are opportunities out there. We have been weak in this state and in this country in making young people aware of those opportunities and getting them the training that they need. So that is exactly why we're here today, and why I hope here in Vermont we can improve the process. Yeah.
There are also opportunities that are kind of in the middle. For people who don't want to go right to college after high school, whether it's that you're not quite ready to invest the time and the effort into more education, or it's the price tag. College is very, very expensive. There's other opportunities. I know that we have an internal program in our company that takes existing employees who are interested in some further education. We call it our Certificate in Manufacturing Technology. We've partnered with Vermont Technical College, where these employees take one course a semester at VTC. It takes 4 years, but every time they pass a course, they get a $500 bonus, and when they graduate from the program, they get a 10% bump in pay, and they're 3/4 of the way towards their associate's degree. So there's other opportunities for furthering your education beyond the traditional college, high school college route.
That's a very important point. It's not either or. Sometimes people go from high school to college who should not be doing that, and then they drop out a year or two later. And there are other people who go out, get a job, they get a sense of what they want to do, then they go to college. So it's not an either or, it could be both. All right, 2 more questions. Yeah.
So Mr. Sanders, I mean, clearly, you're a national politician. You understand the importance of campaigning and marketing and, having a strong media platform. But, to the rest of the panel who are, local Vermont entrepreneurs, this is just a personal observation, but I feel that on a micro scale of, internal state, affairs and economics that, as social media and consumer software and technology and electronics really do develop, the, need for professional, filmmakers, the need for professional media artists, and the need for professional media workers is really decreasing. And, I'm just kind of curious, for a new generation of filmmakers, a new generation of audio engineers, a new generation of graphic designers, how do we appeal to the small business? How do we appeal to, the company CEO? How do we put ourselves out there as professionals and as specialists?
Okay, you guys want to comment on that?
We have an internal marketing team, so we do have marketing positions. So we don't necessarily do a lot of looking for freelancers to work with. So I can't.
But your point is right. I mean, we do a lot of social media in my office. We do a lot of video. We have a brilliant team of people who are, as of this moment, they're developing videos that go throughout Vermont, throughout the country. Okay, last question. Yep.
If each of you had to give us just one piece of advice, like for getting into a really good job, what would it have to be?
Here's what I think, and I want the employers to jump in. First of all, do your best, and we've got to help you on this, to understand what is available. Maybe you like electronics, maybe you like something else. But before you jump into something, figure out what you really enjoy. You're not going to be a good worker unless you enjoy the work you're doing. In each one of these cases, these are exciting, interesting jobs. People, in every instance, have spent their lives, decades, growing and enjoying the work. Not just the money, enjoying the work. So understand what is available out there. And we've got to do a better job in making you aware of what is available here in the state of Vermont. That would be my the main point that I would make. Anyone want to add to that? Anybody? Okay. All right, so I've got to run, got to get a plane back to Washington. Let me, yes. Yeah, Penny, do you have a quick question?
I do. I have a question for your panel, and this is just a hand raising. I want you to visually see what. So for the students, if we were to bring 20 to 30 employers, similar to what you have here on the stage, here to Central Vermont Career Center during the school day, would you be interested? Show of hands. Okay. Panel, how many people are you going to be hiring in the next 4 years?
I'd say in the 20s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd say 20 or more.
Okay, so just in these 3 companies, in the next few years, you have 50 or 60 jobs that they'll be hiring 50 or 60 people. Okay, as I think Penny indicated, I hope that this is the beginning of the process, not the end. All right, there are good jobs out there that are interesting jobs that pay good wages, good benefits. Our job is to make sure you know what is available. This is the beginning of the process. It's not going to be the end. So let me thank all of you for being here, for your great questions and your comments. Let me thank the teachers and Penny as well. Thank you all.